Vegas Ace.
Alright, so you welcome back. It's still the Fashion Diaries here on KFM TV, and now I have been hooked up by one amazing creative entrepreneur and an artist as well, and he is in the person of Leslie Bentil, aka Chromantin of GUTTA Soles. He's a shoe designer as well. I wonder how he's able to blend this thing. We'll get to find out. Leslie, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm really glad to have you on the show today.
I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so first of all, we want to know who Chromantin is, or should I say Bentil?
Either one is the same person. Chromantin is a musician who prides himself on being rebellistic. That's what the word means. It's a word between Ghana and Jamaica, a shared word. It refers to the slaves that they took from Ghana and that they had to separate from the rest of the slaves on the slave boat and maroon on the island of Jamaica. Wow. So to this day, they eat Ghanaian food. They speak kind of a tree-like language. Really? And they're called the Maroons, but Chromantin is another name for them. So I chose that as my musician name.
Wow. Yeah. That's great. What about GUTTA Soles?
GUTTA Soles came from, as a musician, it's almost like making a song. Like I came up with the idea for the shoe, and we use recycled fabrics, recycled car tires, and it's things that are found in the gutter here normally. So I wanted to make it a metaphor for also Ghana, that it's like the gutter, but it's an open gutter, so we can get out of it. Because we're not in a good condition in this country a lot of the time. But this is an idea maybe that can help us to get out, and some ideas like this.
Okay, that's amazing.
Thank you.
You said you were Ghanaian earlier on. Where are you from?
My parents are Ghanaian. My mother is born in Accra. My father is from Cape Coast. But I was born in America. Yeah.
Okay, so all this while you've been in America, you were born and bred there?
Yeah, every other year we came here for vacation, and then I went to Achimota for almost 2 years in secondary school. So I wasn't completely foreign to Ghana. Amen. And then I started the company about 6 years ago.
Wow. Okay, so now you started the company 6 years ago. That's when you completed, or you were still here when you began?
No, I left in 97, something like that. I didn't come back to 2008.
Wow.
Something like that, and then from that point, like every year I've been here.
You would have, okay. So how has your stay in the outside here and then blend helped you or shaped your life?
It's like a bridge. It's like a bridge to the gap. You have Ghanaians in Ghana who are talented and who have the ability to make things, but they don't have any way to get them to America, to Europe. And so I'm like a bridge connecting things. Yeah, and I never knew it would be like that, but that's just what makes sense.
Sure. All right. So we know this whole thing about shoemaker thing. Let me put it that way. It used to be a situation where you have a stick and a box and you just run around and then you are called a shoemaker or the cobbler or something. But now we call them shoe designers. How did yours begin?
Well, actually, I'm a little bit different. Our model for our company just came from a creative idea. Okay. And it's not like I make shoes or like I'm a shoe designer. Okay. I just had a creative idea to put, like we have Afro Moses, Chalewate, and I had the idea to put the rubber tires underneath sneakers and then use pieces of fabric to sew together and beading and kind of encompassing a lot of the art we do here. Okay. So it was a new idea, and I found artists. Mostly from art center area who knew how to do what I imagined in my head. Okay. So I was very fortunate that I found, the right people. Okay. So yeah.
Because you're an artist yourself too.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. So this GUTTA Soles, the company, can you tell us how challenging it was beginning this whole thing?
It was very challenging because I'm not an entrepreneur, investor, a businessman. I'm an artist. Okay. So I had an idea. I put it on Twitter. And everybody went crazy. Wow. And I said, okay, well, wow, all I have to do is give it to some of my celebrity friends. Okay. And maybe, it can help the guys who make it. I never really thought about making it into like a big business. So when people started ordering, it was like, wow, okay, this is something that I have to be serious about. So we actually had to establish the business backwards. Wow. Because our demand was so much greater than the structure. We didn't have any business structure or anything. So it was a bit challenging.
Great. Yeah. So how were you able to, go around it? And who are some of these celebrity friends that were helping?
Our first big celebrities in America were like Dead Prez. I don't know if you know them. They're a political hip hop group. And then we had Waka Flocka from Atlanta. We had Philomena Kwao, the model from UK, the Ghanaian model. Larissa Irving, the Jamaican model. And I intentionally kept our celebrity ambassadors at a certain level because I felt like if we have more demand and we can't supply it because we don't have a factory, everything is made by hand, then it will look bad on the company. So I kind of tried to keep the celebrities into like the medium to small range. And hopefully now we can add some bigger celebrities when we get manufacturing capabilities.
Okay. What about here in Ghana?
In Ghana we have Efia, who we started with. We have Kwakesi. We have Reggie Rockstone. We have Nikki Simonas. We have Wiala. Wow, I think I'm forgetting. Yeah, I'm probably forgetting a few. Sorry about that, guys, but thank you. You know, but basically anybody who we can see can be an influencer.
To the brand.
Yeah, and we've been operating 6 years with no investment. So it limits us in our capabilities to put shoes on all the influencers that we want to. So it's a timing thing.
Wow, great. Now, where do you find your source of inspiration and motivation to do this kind of creative work?
To be honest with you, it's just creativity and actualizing things. I like thinking of things in my head and then seeing them in reality. And then a big inspiration is Kofi Ansah, because he kind of took me under his wing before he passed and gave me so many ideas and so much vision with this that whenever I feel like not pushing on, I know it's worth, to push on because somebody as talented as him believed in me,
Wow.
So, yeah.
What is one, something that you really learned from him?
I learned that fashion is so much more than a creative idea. I just had a creative idea and he looked at me when I came in there first like, what? Like, what are you doing? And I had to listen to him and, for instance, the lapel on the top of the shoes. Yeah, this part here, the black part. He is the one who taught me how to do that and said it was needed to make it finished. And, it really helps when you present it in Europe and America when it has that those type of things on it.
Now tell us about how your work you started. You've been doing this for like 6 years now, and then can you tell us how you started and how you have evolved with time?
I started with an idea from seeing a pair of shoes with 2 pieces of fabric just attached to it at Art Center. And some guy said, yeah, this shoe will fit you. And this, he's trying to hustle me. And so I said, who made this shoe? Because I saw the whole thing in my head, just like if I'm in the studio and I hear a beat or something like that. And so I said, wow, all we have to do is put this on. And I said, who made this? And he ran me around for like a week. And then he took me to the guys. And I told him, by that time I had the whole vision. I said, look, maybe I can put this on celebrities I know and this and that. They said, look, Charlie, we don't know who you are. We just want the money for the shoes up front. Because I wanted them to be my partners. And they chose not to be. And we just started making it. This is the beginning. Let me get this so I can show you. This is a very dirty shoe, but I mean,
it's the beginning.
Old, it's 6 years old or something like that. So as you see,
6 years old shoe, and it looks like this.
And this is like mildew and kept in storage and everything. So I apologize, but this is where we started. It was a very heavy sole. No lapel, just the beads here. The flag on the back was simple. And it's a Converse shoe, as you can see. It's something that you can get from Katamanto. And it's not really exclusive to us. So we graduated from that, and this is where we are now.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
Yes, thank you. It's a process that we didn't plan. Like the beads, for instance, this idea was given to me by my Austrian friend in Berlin to put the black background and the G and the Ghana flag, together. The colored stitching. That we have now is our lead designer, Fatal. He has Fatal Fashions in Art Center. And just, we have the different design on the tongue, the beads on the tongue that are different from that. And the sole got slimmer as well.
Wow. So why did you choose, is it one fabric, print fabric you use, or you before designing you have this I want to use this print for this, and the meaning for that? Is there a particular theme that runs through your collections?
Well, to be honest with you, it's all recycled fabrics. This shoe is, we go and sweep the floor of seamstresses and tailors at the end of the day, and we have big bags of scraps. So it's an infinite amount of potential for designs, and I put that mostly in the hands of our lead designer. I tell him the colors that the customers are interested in, and I help with the design a little bit, not so much these days as I did in the beginning. But I kind of influence it because I know the market in America and in Europe. So yeah.
That's great. Now I can see you're a very busy person, but how is a normal day for you? Do you have a social life? I mean, as a CEO, an artist, and also someone who designs.
Yeah, I mean, with music, somehow in the background with the industry that I have, it's kind of all meshed in together. Yeah, so I'm working all the time, literally. I have my business cards with me, so if I'm at an event and it looks like I'm socializing, it's usually a networking opportunity.
So there's nothing like a play kind of thing, fun kind of thing.
No, I have not. Actually, I have not really taken vacation in years. Like,
this is all, you don't have fun, seriously.
It's all about the hustle right now and trying to get this things
done.
Yeah, I see
get
how.
Your money.
Well, not even just me. I saw like the first batch of shoes. I saw how the guys put new roofs on their places and new floors, new windows. And I started to think this is a social project. This isn't something that we can look at just like a business. Because I'm a Ghanaian. I'm not a European coming here to just make money off of Ghanaians. So it grew into a social project where I saw I could help people without, we can help ourselves without the outside help. We just need the bridge to take our products out of here.
It's been amazing here with Leslie, but let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Vegas Ace.
Thanks for staying. It's still the Fashion Diaries right here on KFM TV, and I'm still here with Leslie Bentil, aka Chromantin, and he is the CEO of GUTTA Soles, a shoe designer. I always like to call him, but he doesn't like it anyway.
The owner, CEO, founder of the shoe brand.
Okay, for the shoe brand.
That sounds better. Yeah.
That sounds better. All right, so Leslie, looking at how this whole thing is being put up, we were talking about it earlier. Can you tell us, I mean, how much does this cost?
Well, our prices are between $240 and $600.
Wow.
And that is mainly because of the materials that we're using, and also the exclusivity. Every piece is one of one.
Wow.
And so there will never be a piece. Actually, we have two collections. We have exclusive edition, which is one of one, and custom collection, which can be repeated and look similar like other designs that we do. So the custom collection is about $240, starting from $240, and the exclusive edition is $420 and up. So let me explain to you why this is so expensive. We have a partnership with Athletic. This is a German company that produces in Pakistan. They're an ethical, fair trade company, and our bases are basically made of natural tree rubber. So there's no chemicals in this whatsoever. There's no child labor. There's nothing unfair. It's all ethical. On the upper, we have organic cotton. So these are two very expensive ethical materials that are, they cost. And so it comes with the price tag. And until we can find a way to produce in Ghana, either from investment in building a factory or somehow, dealing with the pre-existing infrastructure, then we can't really lower our prices because this is just handmade, one of one, no volume.
No machines. Does any of the materials you use in producing this product have any effect on whoever wears it?
As far as
health-wise, comfortability, and all that. I mean, what comes to mind when using any of the materials?
The main thing with a lot of the wax prints, we get some kind of waterproofing, which is crazy. When I wore them in Berlin in the snow and in rain, I was seeing the water bead off of these fabrics because it's wax, so that's probably the biggest advantage aside from the colors. Like people like these bright colors right now, and to be able to put them together, it's an advantage in this market.
Oh, okay. Now you have been here in Ghana. You've been doing business for some time now. How do you see the business prospect here in Ghana?
I feel like it's getting better, but at the same time, I feel like there is, without being too political, a larger effort to limit self-entrepreneurship in Africa. Because if that happens, it kind of tilts the scale of what's going on in the world, because we have a lot of resources here, we have a lot of creativity. So things are hard as far as shipping, for instance. It costs an average of about 70 euros to ship one pair of shoes out of this country. So if you think about that, how many people who are making things in Ghana can afford to ship their things out? So it's almost like a concerned effort to try and make it difficult. There's no PayPal, eBay, or these different type of tools that people use in Europe and America. But I think that in our own African economies, it's getting better. And in the next 20 or 30 years, we'll have a middle class that will be able to buy these type of things.
Okay. Now, you have been in the shoe business for some time. So can you tell us, in selecting a shoe, what are some of the requirements to select a good shoe or a good product or brand?
I always like to look at comfort first, durability, and we designed our shoes basically to sustain surface conditions in Accra. Okay, so that means like gutters, potholes, like the dusty roads. That's why the tire on the bottom is really
hard.
Yeah, it's useful here. But at the same time, we have arch support inside the shoe, so it's not completely flat like most Chuck Taylor Converse type of shoes. So yeah, it's first is comfort, then durability, and style actually should come first. But for me personally, that's like one of the last things. No, it's like the last thing, but it should be. Most of our customers, that's number one. They're like, wow, look at how it looks. But then we make sure it's strong and comfortable too. So
durable. What have been your career highs so far?
Oh wow. Kofi Ansah, getting that call from him that day, I'm cool with his son. But I mean, to have him call my phone and ask me, like, do I know what I'm doing? And can we meet? And, he wanted to take me to the Malaysia Fashion Week with him. So that was a high. The other high was our affiliation with Athletic, with that company, to say a big German company like that sees so much in us. Another one was our shoes. Michaela Cole was a big one. Michaela Cole makes chewing gum. She's another one of our ambassadors. She's from UK, a Ghanaian girl, and she really liked our stuff, and to have her with a shoe bag, and some of our stuff was really nice.
Now here in Ghana, who would you love to see in your wear?
Wow. Okay. And when I say love to see, like, I mean, I would have even made the effort to do this, but like I said, the demand, if you cannot supply it, and have a cheaper product, I don't really think about it. But right now, I think the Shatta movement. The Shatta movement would be very, very nice. Right? Yes, they would be a good addition to our influencers. Yes.
Why them of all the groups?
Because
because you're an artist, you decided to choose Shatta?
Nah, because he has a reach outside of Ghana, and he has a very unique style. Even though it's dancehall, he talks in pidgin, and so you can kind of see that he's a Ghanaian, and his brand is everywhere now, especially now,
Okay. Yeah. Now, I know you would definitely wear or rock your shoes anywhere. Yeah. But are there, quite apart from your shoes, are there any brand or any type of wear you would never rock?
Never. Wow.
Okay, the word is too strong.
No, I mean, I would never rock skinny jeans.
Wow.
Because I'm not a skinny jean dude. Like, I mean, but I'm not hating on that or nothing, but just not with me. And also, the brands I would wear, I have to mention, these are Benash jeans.
Okay.
And I don't know if you're familiar with Benash jeans, but he's producing in Nima. He has about 6 locations around Accra. Wow. And I do as much as I can to support the local
brands.
People, the local brands. Yes.
Okay, that's great. It's getting interesting, but my time is up.
Oh, good.
So, any last thoughts or comments or anything you would want to say?
Just, I hope that people can see this interview and see our website and get inspiration from it and know that we are not alone in Ghana. Like, you have business outside of here and money outside of here that you can make as long as you make the proper connections. It's the potential is limitless.
Sure. Yeah. Great. Your social media handles?
Okay, we are GUTTA SOLES, GUTTA SOLES, and that is on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter. Our website is www.guttasoles.com.
Wow, that's a specific one. Yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for coming in here. So it's been interesting here. I hope you have been educated here and you've gotten to know more about who GUTTA Soles brand is all about. But let's take another break. We'll be right back. Now, all too soon, we've come to the end of today's exciting episode. I hope you have been educated and informed. But our time is up and we have to wrap up. My name is Ifestad Edna. Thanks so much for making time here with me. You could log on to our Facebook page, KFM TV Official, for more news updates, and also log on to our YouTube channel, KFM TV_GH. Do follow me on social media, Start Edna, and Fashion Diaries, KFM TV on IG, and Fashion Diaries on Facebook. Until same time next week, I'm out.